So you say.
Hello, everybody! Welcome to Qyjari's Curious Crafts and Dungeons and Dragons with the Banana Brothers. How are you tonight, everybody? How are you guys doing?
Oh, I like your purple stuff in the background.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Oh, look at that.
I've got stage lighting.
Wow, that looks
know,
good.
doesn't
Oh,
it?
that's very
look at all
cool.
the hats. Because we are celebrating Hattober,
Oh,
and I don't have Drake around to make him wear a hat, so I guess it falls to me to wear the hat. So, yay! Shall we do our intro and then our new intro? Yeah,
sure.
This is where you all say
I'm all
yes.
for that idea.
Oh yeah.
oh,
sure.
yeah, new
Yeah,
intro.
yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay,
It is
yeah.
better than cats.
Okay,
I will watch it
yeah,
over
okay.
and over.
All right, here we go.
Great take! Now, bring forth the bananas! Cat dragged in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to D&D with the Banana Brothers, a D&D 5th edition homebrewed adventure featuring 4 of the most unlikely heroes in the world of Amynrath. For those watching for the first time, we invite you to sit back and enjoy the magic and mayhem as these 4 half-brothers, summoned by their very eccentric father, who's very mysterious, travel from their hometowns toward the city of Ravenscroft. They were summoned to a place called the Green Goblin Inn, but they're not quite there yet. So let's let the characters recap their adventures thus far. Tranquil, you're up.
Well, I play
Oh,
a
that sounded so
bard.
professional.
I know, right?
Really, that sounded so professional. I was like, going, oh, Q, Tranquil. Q,
I knew I was
Tranquil.
first. I just was waiting for an intro.
And then there was this pause. And I'm like, well, crap.
It's okay.
We literally messed up the
Can-
first step.
Can we start over?
Let's start
Literally,
over.
can we
Let's just
start over?
Let's just start over.
Take 2.
Erase.
I'm a bard. I'm a halfling bard,
Yep.
and I'm an urchin from Granlin,
And Granlin
big
is
city.
Yep.
in the northeast.
I'll put the map up.
Oh,
How
okay.
about I do the map?
We have a map?
Yeah.
No way.
There's where Beaufort is from.
Mhm.
Granlin, right there in the upper right-hand part of the map.
I've been an orphan all my life. I never knew my mom. I usually slept in a barn or in an alley or whatever. I know how to play guitar and a lot of percussion instruments. For money, I play small gigs. And I also worked on a plantain farm.
Awesome. Why don't,
So that was
why don't we do little mini intros like you just did, and then we'll do everybody's, and then start with you again with your
Perfect.
adventure.
Perfect.
Okay, so let Andy know when you're done.
I'm done.
Awesome.
Hi.
Beautiful,
hi,
beautiful transition.
Yeah. Hi everyone. I'm Andy. I'm playing Latone. Glatone is a goblin paladin from Moldy Knot, towards the southern part of Amynrath, and he grew up as a cook, and has developed through his love of a particular cookbook the abilities of a paladin, and he is going to be summoned by his father, just like everyone else.
Very
I'm
good.
sorry.
Awesome.
I'm sorry. What?
Mm-hmm.
So what you're saying is you learned how to be a paladin through a chef.
Oh no, through glorious
cookbook.
cooking.
You'll see.
Specifically a cookbook, yes.
Yeah, you'll see.
I love you already.
This is going to be good.
Oh. All right.
Go ahead, Arlindor.
Oh, is it me?
Yes, it's you.
My character name is Deros, but I didn't know that because where I came from, we didn't have names. I came from where the Moganja tree grew. And that's where my home was with my mama and my little friends in the forests. And basically, I spent my days as a druid guarding an ancient temple. It was a very important temple. They said, you need to stay here and watch this little 10 by 10 area that looked like my mama's house, but burnt down. So I don't understand. But I went ahead and guarded it anyway because they said it was important. So after that, then I have just been wandering on. I do like to have tea, which is made from my Moganja tree tea leaves, so it's really nice to have those kind of breaks during the day.
Okay.
And Anchoku. Nailed it! First cut!
Wait, Anchoku, you're muted.
All right.
Never
There he is!
Hey,
This is why we practice
All
these
right.
things.
this is. Hi, my name is Anchoku, and I'm playing Ukokna, a Tiefling Warlock. Grew up in the town of Mixbury. My mother's name is Papaya, and she runs an apothecary that carries many potions, herbs, and other materials that she can get, both good and evil. She likes variety, but she does not like it when somebody who is just trying to help pulls jars of ingredients off the shelves and drops them on the floor. And so I was apprenticed to the local gnomish warlock Palm at the age of 5 when I could just reach the middle shelves in my mother's store, but spent most of the time on chores for Palm's half-elf wife, Hana Ringo, in her apple orchard. While the hard labor in the orchard seemed to increase as I grew, I also began picking up lessons in warlocking, sagery, and by hunting game and playing barbecue roundup with my best fiend, Zizi.
Sagery.
That's not even a word.
Warlocking.
Sagery! I love it.
Awesome.
A spear, a boomerang, and a belt
Oh, he's
knife
not done yet. Okay.
were my first weapons, and they are nice. They were nice, but they weren't awesome enough, so I got another knife and trained myself in dual wielding because holding 2 knives is really cool.
Okay.
I always thought Master Palm and his fiend, Jinaparu, were amazing and set my sights on becoming a great warlock mage like my master. I'm a pretty well-trained warlock. Master Palm said I should go out and do something of my own somewhere far away, so I decided to return to this town with great stories of adventures like Master has.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. So you all received a summons, and you can recap that for us. And let's start with Tranquil. He's going to recap
Sure.
our adventure, and I've also given them a homework assignment to add a little something extra into their story. So now he's going to everyone's going to recap from the moment they left town, or right before they left town, to where we ended up 2 weeks ago when we played Session Delta. So go ahead, Tranquil.
Sure. Well, I got the scroll. It was apparently a magic scroll. It wasn't delivered by a bird or a mail carrier. It just showed up. And it showed up into the hands of Tig Bastion, which is a friend of mine. And she had to read it to me because I couldn't read. And it was from my father, who I didn't know and never knew. And he summoned me to Ravenscroft. So I packed up my backpack and my guitar and my daggers and my short sword, my bedroll, my lamp, my oil, my ink pen, my parchment, my scroll case, extra pillows, my smoking pipe, which just had mixed berry brown weed in it. I have some extra paper and perfume and soap and pitons. I have 50 feet of rope in my saddlebags. And I have a fanny pack with some gold in it. I have 1,000 ball bearings, I think, in there, in case it gets cold at night.
This
I
this down.
I have all my percussion instruments.
Rylan, would you write this down for me? I don't think I could remember.
Sealing wax. I have sealing wax.
Of course.
Did I say my bedroll?
You did.
Okay, sweet. So I leave with all my stuff. I get about a mile down the road. I'm heading east, mind you. Ravenscroft is south, but I'm going east because there was danger in Miramore. I had a map that some of my old friends gave me, and they told me to go through the Grandmoor Delta Lake thing. And there would be a farm there that I could seek refuge. So I headed east and then south, and about a mile out of town, I had to bury some rations because I had way too much on me, way too much burden. I thought about leaving my guitar, but then I thought that would mean I would have to play the kazoo every time I spell, and I don't think she would like that. So I kept my guitar. And I made it to this house in the Grandmoor Delta Lake. And it was the farm I was intended to go to. So I met a woman there who was in distress. I helped her out. She gave me a donkey for some services I performed in the barn.
And you're still performing those services.
I'm in the middle, yeah. And so the deal was, if I eradicate creepy crawly things that have tormented the horses, I would get a donkey. And she also fed me, and she had really good food. The jerked spices she used for her beef stew was awesome. I burnt my throat.
Awesome.
And that's where I am. I'm in the middle of this fight right now,
and
in the barn.
Is there as you were wandering along the trail southward, you got bored, maybe?
There was, yeah. I learned a couple tunes that I kind of jammed out on.
We should hear them, I think.
Bored as hell.
You're muted.
Yeah, the push to talk is not liking the guitar.
Oh.
Or the non-push to talk, the voice
This is
activation.
amazing.
Okay.
Too loud.
Oh, no, I get it. It's the sound of silence.
The silence of the lambs.
So there was a really cool song I learned on the way,
Why don't
and
you
I kind of played. I played it. I kept myself occupied.
Way to
I,
play that off, bro.
Why don't you just sing it and not play it?
I might as well. I'm bored as hell. I might as well keep playing.
Awesome.
It's a
All right.
song.
For that, you get an inspiration banana.
It's a start, really.
There's your inspiration banana. Awesome. All right. Andy, you want to tell everybody how you he's got his hat. Let's hear all about, say his name again.
My name's Glatone. As you can see, I've got sort of a clean-shaven face, usually sort of smiling. I've got sort of a grey-green sort of skin, like my birth mother, and I wear my hair kind of messy. I mean, you can't see it right now, but you know. Anyway, me other mother always says me ears are sort of pointing upward a little bit, like they're sort of, what'd she say? They haven't given up their optimistic fight with gravity, something like that. But back in the day, me birth mother and her new wife, me other mother, raised me after me father left me in Moldy Nut. Right after he put me in her belly. They never really told me why they put me there, but anyway. Where was I saying? Oh, but me mums have been so supportive of me, you know, despite my sort of less than stellar schooling. See, I dropped out of school pretty early to sort of pursue my passions. You know, cooking. It's always been my passion. And see, at first I was always real bad at cooking. Just bloody awful. I had no idea how to spice things. I kept eating all the salt. People kept telling me not to, but it just tastes good, you know. And anyway, that is until I found her book. Yeah, that's right, her book. See, this cookbook, that's what it was. It was a cookbook. It was filled with all these gorgeous pictures of food, but not a single word. You don't need them. It's just the pictures. So anyway, after finding her book, I got better cooking real quick, and her gifts just kept raining down on me. See, I received a promotion immediately after this. Right, I used to be a trespasser in the kitchen, but now I was a sous chef, and that's just the dog's bollocks. I never did meet Sue. But you know, I did, you know, I did some good cooking for her. I didn't figure out why she ate so much, but you know, I enjoyed myself. It was good. And anyway, one day we were working in the kitchen, and one of my friends told me the book was written by this bird named Hestia, and so I was just like, oh man, I was just sold, you know. So spot on. She obviously had gifted this to me. And I began a devoted worship of this bird Hestia, and I mean, as devout as I could be with my short attention span and literally zero understanding of her true nature, you know. But where was I? Anyway, for some reason, Hestia just kept giving me shit. So, like, I can stop myself from bleeding now if I accidentally cut myself in the kitchen, or like I can stop the sniffles if you got them. Yeah, it's pretty good. What else? Oh, right. When I'm not in the kitchen, I spend my time going out and getting exotic foods from the forest. So I go up to the areas around Moldy Nut and I hunt for new meats to try. When I do that, I use this oversized butcher's cleaver. It's quite good. And then I got... Oh, I found this big pan that someone was using for cooking for some reason, but I use it as a shield. It's quite good. It's I think they call it a wok. And then a friend of mine put me together some metal plates and some pans and things, and I got me some plate mail. It protects me right from the stabbing. It's good. Anyway, recently, while I was working in the kitchen, head chef came around. And he brought me this beautiful message, this little gorgeous piece of paper with this little orange sort of wax on it. And I had another one of Sue's chefs help me understand what it said. And it said, Glatone, my honorable son, it is time for us to meet. You must travel to Ravenscroft in Covinth, to the Green Goblin Inn. When you arrive, speak to Luli. She will instruct you further. You will be joined at the inn by 3 more of my children, your brothers. Take this letter with you and use it during your travels when you feel lost, alone, or frightened. My seal will aid you throughout your journey. Make haste, my son. I look forward to our meeting. Warm regards, Earl de Augusta. See, I understood immediately what that meant. See, me dad's wants me to work as a chef at the Green Goblin Inn in Ravenscroft, obviously. And that orange waxy seal thing, it is the bottom of the letter. It had this warmness to it, and it caught the light so pretty. I just figured I might as well keep this. I threw it in my pocket. I got ready. So I did get. I'll be honest. I did get a bit squiggy about leaving Moldy Nut when I hugged me mum's goodbye, but I knew things were gonna be all right. I got this job lined up, right? It's fine. So I started this long journey, heading straight towards my final destination, Ravenscroft, heading north. And after a day of walking, I remembered, this is the last time I'm going to have moldy nuts. Like fresh moldy nuts, right? So obviously, headed back, went back to this big island, and restocked, ate my fill, till my belly was hurting just a little bit. You know, not too much, not the itis kind of thing, but it was good. So, and then it was already, you know, this pretty sunrise was going on. So I started headed right towards that, as that's where I'm going, right? So the next morning I remembered, oh no, I should be heading towards my final destination, Cravensoft. Right. I headed northward again. And then the morning after that, kept heading right towards that pretty sunrise, whatever. And then, what was the next one? So the next morning, I found the letter in my pocket. I remembered, that's right, my dad's got me job. Gotta go back, head towards my final destination at Crowville. So I headed off and went north, but I hit this mountain, see, and I don't have time for that. I don't be climbing no mountain. That's not my thing. So I spent a couple days and then more days following this canyon road around the mountains. And at first it was just sort of an understanding, like I got to get to Crow's Loft. I got to get to my father. And then out of sheer habit, just lack of desire to go up the mountain, it just, had to keep on that road. So, along the way, I found this nice little this cave. I found out it was called Mother's Cave, so I figured, I really need a quick hug, a bit of that pasta cake they like making, and so I went out there. Turned out, Mom's not there. No, neither of them. It's not. I'm disappointed too, right? So I catch up some bats for myself. I stew them up real nice. Over the fire and had a nice meal, but it wasn't the same. I finally kept going on those canyon roads because obviously that's my life now. And just recently, I finally got out of it, and I got into this nice little swimming across a lake. It was it wasn't one of those. What's that long lake called? It's a river. I swam across the river. And I just followed the river because the fishing was good, right? So finally, I fell off of one of the rocks in the river when I was fishing and turned my ankle and decided, all right, it's enough fish. Let's get going. I got to get back to my final destination, Ravensville. Unfortunately, as you can see on the dotted line, if we could have the map for just a moment, I didn't quite have the right straight of it because of the turned ankle, so I kind of ended up going in a bit of a circle for a while, and then I figured that out, right? Because the sun, you got to keep your eye on the sun. I sort of overcompensated though when my leg was better, and I started going the wrong direction around the circle. But a few days later, I figured it out. I talked with a passing herder of some sheep, and he told me just head to the Moon's Rest Inn and Tavern. Right. So anyway, I went over that way, and I could get a boat there apparently to Ravenscroft. So I headed off, and I finally found the river. I was about to cross it. Unfortunately, at that point, I fell in and drifted down river quite a ways. I eventually figured out that I didn't have to swim the whole way. I could get myself up on my walk shield and just sort of have a nap. So I did that. And when I wake up, anyway, I found myself at the bottom of the river, and there was this big old volcano thing. I was just like, no, that's not me. So I turned around, did a nice little U-turn, headed back up the river towards Ribbonville, and that's where I am now. So I'm a few miles away. There's a place called Ferncrest, I guess, and that's where I'm gonna get the boat. But I see this smelly cow, right? And I think this thing's gonna smell real good in my belly. So I'm gonna try to cleave it.
Awesome. You get a banana.
Oh, thank you. I never had no banana. That sounds good. Is it like a moldy nut?
It's better. It's an inspiration
Ooh.
banana. You are now inspired.
All right.
Done,
Awesome.
DM inspiration. That's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure he'll describe his plate armor another time, Rylan. Don't worry. Oh, look! The emoji's up in chat. That's awesome. I finally got the banana emoji going. Awesome. All right, so Arlindor, do a quick recap. Not real quick. You do it. Take as much time as you like, because that was awesome. And tell us about your adventures from the moment you got those summons from your father.
I gotta follow that. Where's my agent? Where's my Well, okay. Most of you know that when that day happened, when Mama received a piece of parchment in her hand from this fella, I didn't know who it was, and she handed it to me and she said, "This is for you." So I read it. I mean, it was in common, so I could read it. And it was from somebody who said he was my father. I didn't know my father, but apparently I have one now. So I'm gonna go meet him. And so I got instructions from this parchment, and I'm gonna go follow it. So I gathered my things and I went over to my ancient ruins to tell my little friend Jenny the squirrel.
God.
And she was to guard this ancient temple in my absence. I told her I would be back, but I didn't know how long I was going to be. I didn't. So after I spent 3 days trying to convince this squirrel to guard this temple, I just said, "Jenny, you stay right here." And then I went to go see Mama. So I went up to Mama's house, and she wasn't feeling well. She had some kind of sickness. I don't know if she's going to be here when I get back from my journey, but it seemed important for me to see this fella named Daddy. So I was told that I could leave in the morning. Excuse me.
Beer break.
Sponsored by
His squirrel friend.
So my travels down to the city of Zaman is what they call it. I don't know if that really is the name of it, or who named it, or why it was named like that. It seemed like an okay name. So I traveled there because that's what the map said for me to do on my scroll. Anyway, when I got to Zaman, I met a lot of different kind of people. I met little short, hairy, fat dudes. But they were nice.
Dwarves?
That's what they called themselves. I don't really know what they were before that, but I guess they called themselves dwarves.
Okay.
And I met a lot of people that had pointy ears, really, really tall pointy ears. And I've seen them before because they had always visited my Moganja forest. or we would trade with them every once in a while.
But on your way to Zaman, you ran across two of the short-hairy people. And to help them fix their cart, right? Something happened to their box with stuff in it?
Oh, yeah, but way before that.
Oh.
Way before that.
Okay.
There was this one time.
Okay.
I met a man. He was working in a field or something. He looked tired and thirsty, so I gave him a drink of water from my flask. He said thank you. Of course I said you're welcome. I asked him if he needed any help cutting down his yellow pop-pops. I like yellow pop-pops. They are good. They said that's the sound they make on a fire. It makes me laugh.
Okay.
I told him that while we were working. After we finished cutting down all of his yellow pop-pops, he asked me to come to where he lives. He called it a house or something I don't understand. It sounded nice, so I said yes. He introduced me to a woman he called his wife. She was a nice lady. She made us a great meal. And I showed him how to make yellow pop-pops on the fires afterward. He was so happy. He said they tasted really good. He said I could rest my head here. And I said, okay. The next morning, wife made morning meal. It was good too. He thanked me for helping him yesterday, and he gave me a bag full of yellow pop-pops for my journey. I said, thank you. He also gave me a blanket that he said I should wear around my neck. Seemed silly, but it was a nice blanket, so I accepted. Thanked him, and I continued on my journey to meet my dad. I got to meet a lot of new friends on my way. I saw many nenes and moo-moos. I even got to meet a bark. He was following me for a long time, but I didn't tell him that I knew he was following me because he looked like he was scared or hurt or something. Turns out, he got one of his legs caught in a trap, and he was bleeding. I fixed his leg for him, and he licked my face. It means you and him are friends now. At night, Bark liked to sing to the sky. The only thing I could see up there was Earth Mother's nightlight. Mama said that the Earth Mother's nightlight was there to help younglings sleep at night without being afraid. I like to look at that too. Sometimes it made me and Bark sing together.
How did you sing?
It was something like, oh, oh. I like to sing it now too. No, like really, right now. So after that, me and Bark, we traveled all the way down towards our destination. And that's where I ran into two fellas that were having some trouble with their cart or wagon or whatever those humans called it. So as we were trying to fix the broken wheel on his wagon, I asked the two short, hairy, fat guys did we look underneath it to see if it had a spare one? And they looked at it, and it was there. And they were like, wow. And I was like, you're welcome. And then out of nowhere, this big old main boar. I mean, he was a big boar. He just came out of nowhere, and he came out snarling. We didn't know what to do. And then I had to get out my staff, and I had to cast my spell to make my magical staff. And then I was on to help out my new friends. They were two short, fat guys that looked exactly alike.
That's right, they were twins.
And now, to my half-brother, Anchoku, top that.
Oh, that was awesome, Arlindar.
Well done.
Let me give you a banana inspiration for that if I can find my banana inspiration button. Yay!
It took me asking chat to figure out what a nay was. That's awesome.
Welcome to the Dragon King
Thank you,
family.
Rainik. And Anchoku, thank you. I saw that subscription earlier. This is amazing so far. This is awesome. Thank you, guys. You have an inspiration, Arlindar, from the DM. All right, Anchoku, it's your turn.
Thank you.
And thank you for the additional story about the nays and the clucks and the moo-moos and
the bark bark.
The bark bark. He's my friend now.
That's awesome. And you never know where he's going to show up.
I told him not to eat Jenny.
Can I have Jenny?
Yeah.
No, you cannot barbecue Jenny.
All right, Anchoku, you've got the floor.
All right. After a fun day of burning critters in the woods behind the orchard, my best fiend, Sisyphus, and I went back to my mom's apothecary. But instead of going back to hell, Zizi announced to us both that she brought an important message. Uko, my spirited son, traveled to Ravencroft in Covent to the Green Goblin Inn. Speak to Luli. She will instruct you further. You will be joined at the inn by 3 more children, your brothers. My seal will aid you throughout your journey. Make haste. Signed, Earl de Gasso. The scroll had a wax seal with a flame that drew me. It felt hot, like a fire, and I felt compelled to go to Ravenscroft. But neither my mother nor I could read the runes around the seal. My mother gave me plenty of jerk seasoning, saying that I would need it on my journey, as well as 5 vials of red liquid. Master told me to take his cart stacked with barrels and baskets of apples, potions, spices, and silks and other goods, exotic goods, through Covent and deliver the apples to grocers around the Fire Lake, without upsetting it or falling off the back of it. He gave me some paper and said it was an inventory. Everything else is to be delivered to Claude, the elf in Ravenscroft. My trip to Ravenscroft was fun and exciting, but I got kind of lonely the first night, leading the horse along the road. So, after a long day of leading the horse and keeping it from wandering off the road looking for water, I drank one of the vials Mom packed for me. Who's pounding their keyboard?
Sorry. That was actually me.
That was all of us. I'm gonna mute my mic. Hang on.
All right, where was I? I felt a little better, so I drank another, and then another, but then started feeling sick and curled up under the cart for the night. I had 2 left, but the thought of drinking any more turned my stomach. It took 8 more days leading the horse to get to the first stop. The first town was Butterfield. There were huge cows there, and they looked really tasty. One nice lady said I should ride in the cart on the jockey box. It sounded like a pretty strange custom, but I got to sit up way high. And then later, a nice old man said I should probably let my horse drink some water when it wanted to. I tried letting the horse walk herself wherever she wanted, and we ended up stopping near Fire Lake for a while. But she seemed happier when we got back on the road. I spent a little time then wondering how much meat was on each cow as we passed the farms. By the time I entered Butterfield, lots of people were watching me and sharpening their knives and following me, as they probably hoped that I would barbecue one of those cows. But when I unloaded 2 barrels of apples and showed the inventory paper to the grocer, a priest watching me said I needed to hurry on to Haystack, and that I should avoid any holy cows because they could chant powerful magics that hurt tieflings and warlocks.
Holy cow!
Pardon me. The grocer gave me a heavy bag, and they said it had 600 gold and that I should take it to my master in Mixbury. When I got to Haystack and delivered the 2 barrels of dried apples they ordered, I was filled with excitement seeing all the hay and straw around town gathered to feed animals and maybe make things. I gave the grocer the bag of gold from Butterfield and asked him to put 600 gold in it like the other grocer did. He said he added 400 gold, but I thought that sounded less than before. So he explained that I was farther from Mixbury, so the cost should be less. I accepted it, but the villagers got mad when I asked if I could set their barns filled with hay on fire, and threatened me with pitchforks until I was halfway to Hogswallow. Hogswallow was not what I thought it might be. There were many pigs, and they didn't leave messes everywhere or dig holes, but oh boy were they huge. People talked to them, and children rode on their backs. I was getting hungry for meat, and I thought I could catch a small one, and called Zizi to share a roast pig. But the big ones always seemed to get in the way. They looked and sounded mean too. I just delivered the barrel of apples and told her to please put 200 gold in because I was farther from Mixbury. And left town with a glob of drool hanging from my chin and a grumbly belly. But I left. Cooterville was where I was sure to get some meat, so I hurried to get there, only to find every person and every animal ate nothing but vegetables. Cooterville was a swampy town in a swamp.
Where?
Cooterville. I unloaded 3 barrels of apples there. They gave me 2 loaves of bread and 3 cabbages and said they had loaded even more gold into the bag for me, saying I now had 1,621 gold. I was so excited and hungry. I headed out of town. I tried to roast a bright yellow duck, but it quacked and gave me a headache. So I munched on a cabbage. The bread was gone already. Outside the western gate, I stopped and got off the cart near a pond full of turtles. But when I started casting burning hands at them, they all turned and threw up huge streams of water at me. I mean, wet turtle barfs, smelling streams of swamp water. I got back in the cart, asked the horse to move, and she did. Being soaked by smelly water was not good for her either. Heading west toward the sunset, I tried to get away from the swamp and up onto some drier ground, far away from the squirting turtles and gold-colored ducks with headache-inducing quacks. I suddenly felt this was the right thing to do. I had 1 barrel of apples, spices, potions, some dyed silk cloth, and bags of other stuff, probably purchased from across the ocean to the south. Lonely and hungry, I called upon Sisyphus for some company. She sat beside me on the cart's wooden bench, scorching it a little, listening to my adventures and complaints about constant hunger and lack of meat, and sternly scolded me for not setting more people and creatures on fire. A couple of days later, Zizi and I were once again in a marshy area, wondering if we could get a spirited fire going amidst all of this wet green stuff, when we rode up near a short, hairy fellow. He introduced himself as Shackleford Dunsby, I told him I was Ukukna, a warlock of Mixbury, and introduced Sisyphus, a great and powerful ballad from hell. I had 1 barrel of apples left and resolved myself to set him on fire if he purchased it without giving me any real gold.
'Cause why wouldn't you?
My mistakes of the past and Zizi's comforting aura of menace were reminders to be less trusting of complete strangers. He did want the barrel, and I was so very happy. Maybe I would get some real coins or meat out of this. I quickly moved to the back of the cart and worked the last barrel of apples to the edge before jumping down and hefting it over to Mr. Dunsby's cart. There's an echo in there somewhere. Who's not on mute? When I finished transferring
He's all
it...
paranoid now. Who is it? Who is it?
I heard some grunty noises, looked up and saw a hairy creature, not Mr. Dunsby, shambling forward out of the marshy forest onto the road ahead. Mr. Dunsby yelled something totally garbled, and a brown wolf appeared. I was disappointed it was not a hellhound, as I had always wanted one to play with. The wolf looked at the little hairy man. She was almost his size, rolled onto her back and wiggled around on the gravel for a good scratch before getting back on her feet and shaking off. The larger, hairy thing was limping and foaming at the mouth, reminding me of a sick badger I recently found and burned on Master Palm's backyard altar. It had yellow milky eyes and some kind of knobby, spiky thing hanging from a stick in one hand. "Ember Girl," Mr. Dunsby yelled. He and his dog charged the big, sickly hairball, which whacked her pretty hard with the knobby ball. I gaped at the scene before throwing my boomerang, but missed. Mr. Dunsby hacked at it with 2 short swords, dual wielding, and I was envious. Ember Girl jumped at it again, but it missed. But she missed. The hairy, limping creature takes another swing at the big dog, but misses too. I gave up, looked back at Zizi sitting in the cart, who smiled encouragingly at me. I readied burning hands and aimed at the dirty hairballs, roasting all of them. Zizi cheered, and I was super happy. The dog went down, and Dunsby looked a little singed, but all was well in the end. I checked to see if I had any jerk seasoning on me, and moved to pick up the dog and the dirtier hairball. Dunsby said the dead thing was a bugbear, and scowled at me as he did something to revive his dog. I shrugged.
It's a wolf.
The bugbear was probably not as tasty as a dog, but it was meat, and I had not had any for a long while, so I didn't plan on sharing, except maybe with Zizi. The bugbear thing was too big for the sack, my old sack, so I made it into smaller pieces by dual wielding my daggers on it and loading the pieces into the back of the cart. Mr. Dunsby said he was heading toward Ravencroft, and I wondered if I wanted to tag along. That was great, I thought, but instead of heading out right away, he went to his cart, tilted a small cask on its side so the tap was hanging off the edge. Zizi got out of our cart, carved the bugbear's head open, ate the brains, then roasted the heart and liver, but left me some slices of each before she said goodbye, and encouraged me to set some more fires. With Zizi gone, I found Mr. Dunsby quaffing a mug of something and asked what it was. "Ember rum," he said. "Want some?" he offered. His dog had already slurped up a bowl of whatever it was he picked it up and put some more drink in it from the cask and offered it to me. I sniffed it, tasted it, then drained it, ending up in a coughing fit. I thanked him for the fiery drink. Remembering my hunger, decided to barbecue some of the bugbear laying in the back of the cart. Ribs sounded good, and I had jerk seasoning to help with the off flavor from the sick bugbear thing.
God.
Mr. Dunsby had his dog try a few well-cooked ribs without the seasoning before he would eat any himself. Between the 3 of us, we may have emptied that cask, but his dog, Ember something, and I we're not as bad off the next morning as he was, because we had to take turns using the bowl. Late the next morning, we both got back in our carts and continued heading west. When he looked a little less pale, I asked him nicely for some gold to pay for the apples, but he only gave me 6 coppers, saying it was that was all a barrel of apples was worth. I did end up selling him a leg from the bugbear for a copper later on that day, and he gave it to his dog.
Wolf.
And I thought, no wonder that dog looks so tasty.
Wolf.
Woof woof.
Bark, bark.
Bark, bark.
Wolf.
And that catches us up.
Yes, that was excellent. Thank you so much. You get an inspiration. Everyone now has an inspiration banana. Thank you, guys. On that note, let's take our break and come back and continue everyone's story and finally get them to Ravenscroft. Stay tuned for 1 minute, though, because I have a couple of commercials to show you and a really funny video of a couple-minute video of the history of the Banana Brothers and some footage from the wedding that you guys might enjoy.
So it's only a 7-minute break.
Well, I'm just saying. I think you'll enjoy it.
I gotta pee.
You'll have plenty of time. All right, let's mute you guys and go to that screen.
It's a video. There is pop-up video now. Pop-up video.
I can't believe I'm related to this.
I have 8, 7.
Welcome to the stream.
I got like 25.
No, we're back. We are back.
Oh,
Hello, everybody. Let me take
I'm
it
not
off.
back yet.
We are back.
Now I'm
Everyone that's
back.
freshly watered and peed. I hope.
In equal amounts.
In equal amounts. There you go. Let's see. We are going to be. I have to move stuff around. Okay. All right. So, thank you all so much for your backstories. As you can see, you were given a DM inspiration. That's how the banana inspiration will work, unless given to you by a viewer by spending some bits on the channel. Use them when you get it, though, because you can't have double. You can't double up on those, so use them when you got them. All right, when last we left off, Beaufort had found this farm, and he was introduced to a lady known as Silva Bottom Hill. Because they lived at the bottom of a hill. And she needed help with something. Apparently there was some very dark and mysterious, like a fog or a shroud that covered their farm. And it was causing her husband, what was her husband's name?
Bernard. Inspiration.
Some angst. And he got to the point where he was so downtrodden that he could not go out there and do his job. So she was having to take over, but unfortunately it was starting to get to her too. So she asked for your help and was actually expecting you, if you recall. She said,
the old lady
woman.
gave her a potion to give to me.
Yeah, what was it called? A boo-boo?
A boo-boo potion, a
Potion or
red
something?
vial of boo-boo potion.
A boo-boo potion. And so you took that, and they said that you could have one of their finest mules, whatever was left, because they were being attacked in the barn. The horses and the mules were all in the stables, and these creepy crawlies were attacking them. So you ran into the barn, well, sort of stealthily. I think you clanged a little bit.
I did.
And took care of, I think, 3 of them almost immediately, and set your sights to get the rest of them. When all of a sudden you hear a very loud, thunderous voice from outside the barn that says, "Enough!" And all of a sudden, all the creepy crawlies skitter past you, and it's creepy. You almost like roll a d20.
4.
Add your
I'm having deja vu all over again.
I know, right? Add your go ahead and add your strength modifier.
2.
Okay, so yeah, you
Even subtract.
you kick at one but miss it completely, and it just kind of skitters around your foot and keeps going. But they all head out the door. They're all outside now, near the
Towards the voice or away from the voice?
toward the voice.
Well, I'm going to have to go out there too.
Yes, you are. And let me just pull up the map. I have so many screens open on this tiny little monitor. I don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, so we have a new
We have a map?
We have a map, yes. Let me
All right,
let me
super.
just show you what I have here. I'm so excited. After I find it here,
Wow.
it just chill. It's coming. I don't know where
Really?
it is. Let's
Yes.
do the battle map.
Wow,
Let's do this.
everything in my
You know
life
what?
right now.
There.
Sing the map song.
That's not
I'm
it.
the map. I'm the
Don't
map.
sing the map song. Look at that. Oh, look at that map. Isn't
Beautiful.
that awesome?
Ooh.
I know,
Baby, I
everyone.
love your way.
Look at that. It is by Yarrow Studios. Thank you, Yarrow Studios. It was a Kickstarter I got onto and got their immersive battle maps. You can visit them at yarrowstudios.com. They are not a sponsor of this show, but maybe one day they will be, so you know I'm plugging them now. All right, so let me take
You'll have that under your
I'm
belt
just
when
take
they
that back
do.
out there, yeah. All right, so let me set it up
Wait
and
a
tell you.
second. I thought we were playing D&D.
All right, listen, you.
We're plugging shit now.
Is this a pop-up map?
That'd be cool.
Do they have little tabs you can pull and?
That would
Seriously,
be really cool.
the simpler the better.
I gotta find
Yeah,
a
Why
way.
does that not exist
You know,
yet?
it does not exist yet. All right,
Oh, see, I thought that was a video, but you're like manually opening it.
Oh, wait, now come on.
That's anticlimactic.
No, stop. I gotta find. Uh-oh. Where'd I put? Hold on. I got this.
Where are all the pull tabs?
If the miniatures
love
were
it.
still in there, they're flat now.
I know, right? Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. I'm getting it.
Oh wow, that's a big book.
It's a really big book. Hold on. I gotta find the page. I thought I had the page.
We need a banana for scale.
I do need
It's
a
the
banana for scale.
It's the DM's cookbook.
I thought I had everything marked, and of course, you know, these are things that happen to me on a day-to-day basis. Oh, here it is. I found it. All right. Oh, it was actually marked. Ha! Okay, let me put it back.
You need big sticky notes on that
I
big,
had
big
a
book.
big sticky note on it. All right, so
A big sticky note.
I did have a big sticky note. All right, so there, I had it all marked out. Look at that beautiful map.
Okay, that is really gorgeous.
Isn't that nice?
That is nice, actually.
Okay.
It's seamless. I can't even see the
I know.
binding.
I know. You can't see me either. Hello. Now I'm going over here. Okay, so you run out of the barn, which is actually on this side, right there.
I think I see it.
Yep.
I see two potential barns.
You see me? This is a pig pen, and that's just a tiny little like that's where like the hired hand would stay. But the
It's
barn,
a dirty little kid with a blanket.
No, it's a bear. That's a bear rug. Okay. So
It's a bark rug.
It's a bark rug. So they're all running out. So they all ran out ahead of you, and they're all right here.
Well, it's getting really handsy in the GDLT.
And out here, you see this creature. And it's like swirling fire around, and it's just crazy doing stuff.
And these hand thingies are running towards it.
Yes.
Okay.
You've subscribed.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Dragonkin family.
Thank you. We are Nerdsmith. I need to move that. That.
Can I see Silva
Window.
from where I'm at?
Can you see what?
Silva?
Who?
Silva
Yes.
Bottom Hill?
Yes, she.
She was at the door
She was at
with
the
the
door.
dagger.
Yeah.
With my dagger.
With your extra dagger. Yes, and she is scared. She's actually trying to back sort of into.
Yeah, I motioned
Yeah.
for her to go inside.
Yeah, she's backing back into. So yeah, she's there, but you see this creature. It looks almost skeletal actually, and it's got fire around it.
Ugh, yeah, this is bad. I'm thinking to myself, this is bad.
Yeah, I would think that too.
Wonder who's brave enough around here to fight this.
Can't imagine who.
I will run towards it
Okay, with all of your what movement?
with my movements of 25.
Well, you're gonna go through the hands.
I'm gonna just stay directly behind the hands. They're gonna be the first wave, and I'm gonna be just.
Okay.
As a free action, can he say talk to the hand?
All right, so they all move up a little bit as they're just approaching, and you're back there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay about 10 feet behind them.
Okay. Their movement is only 20, so you'll actually overtake them unless you.
Yeah, then I purposely slow down.
Okay, so you're back a little bit.
Yeah, I stay behind their wave.
All right, he was calling them to him, but now, but he sees you come out from the barn, like right there, and he commands them to turn around. So they all turn and face you.
This is just fine and dandy.
Do the hands make any gestures?
They do this.
How many fingers are each of them holding up?
They're all searching for a cell phone.
Yeah.
That's right.
Why don't you roll initiative?
All right.
And then die.
Yeah, really. Hopefully you got something to take out crowds, because, you know, the paladin of this group is looking at that saying, that's a lot of hands.
That's a lot of hands.
That's
He
a
knows
lot of
about hands.
All right, what'd you get for
Lay
your
on
initiative?
hands.
15.
All right, you're first.
Good. So I'm further up. I'm 10 feet behind the hand.
Okay,
Blue token, right?
right there.
It takes a second for me to see, but
That's fine.
yeah. So I'm
Okay.
gonna step up.
Yes.
I think I can get 5 of them in a 15 by 15 foot square of Thunderwave.
Sure.
I think there's 5 or 6. I can't tell.
15 by 15.
Yeah, what's the best 15 by 15?
Hey guys, you're talking all technical. You should be talking.
Yeah, I think you
about
got 6
things.
there.
You'd get 6. Yeah.
All right, I'm trying to get. Yeah, I think I see 6 too.
You get 6 out of 8.
Well, I'm putting it right down there
Okay.
and doing my spell.
See, this map came with all these sticker sheets. They're like clings. They're really cool. They came with all these clings. Like, you remember those little things that we did when we were kids, those color forms?
Oh, that's so
Oh.
cool.
Yeah. So what was it you cast?
Thunderwave.
I don't know.
Chloroform. Yes, I remember that game.
I don't know where Thunderwave is. We'll just say, oh, it's a cone. Here it is.
It's
Would you
a
say it's
cube.
that one? Oh,
It's a cube.
Oh.
15 by 15 cube.
See, I don't know any of this stuff. What am I doing DMing this game? Okay, we'll just say it's a cube. I don't want to dig through all this stuff. Okay. All right. And what do I need to do? A save?
It is. I'm looking.
See, I DM, but I make him do all the work.
Yeah, it's a
Con
constant. Every one of them makes a con save.
All right, let me flip back to my page of those. All right. And what's the what is the number I have to save?
You need at least a. Where is it at?
Is it same for
Wow.
left hand
14,
and right
14.
hand?
You are so unprepared, dude. Come on, first level.
14?
WTF?
And all
Well,
6
That
of
was
them have to
really
make
funny,
the
but
save.
it was
Fail.
very, very quiet.
Fail. Fail.
Jamie.
Fail. Fail. Oh, it saved. One saved. And fail.
Aren't they taking half damage anyway?
Yeah, so all the fails take 8.
They all did.
8 thunder. All the fails take 8 thunder.
And the saves take 4?
Take 4.
Okay,
thunder.
they're all dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Did we have a musical interlude to this?
Yeah, it was.
He played his
we
bongos or
did.
something. Awesome.
I
Okay.
gotcha.
You've got
Thunderwave.
now this is making this whatever fiery thing, the skeletal fiery thing, very angry. Now he's whipping fire whips and stuff at you, and he's mad. He's coming toward you. What are you gonna do?
As a free action, I'm gonna wink at him.
Okay, he does not seem amused at all. The 2 hands turn, and one is going to claw at you. Well, they're both going to claw at you. 9 misses.
Miss. 15 armor class.
What's a
and,
snide?
Yeah, 22 hits.
That's a big hit.
All right, 1d4. I guess I won't roll a 1d6. If it's
I'm gonna use my inspiration. Can I use my inspiration to take that roll?
Yes, you may.
I
roll
would
it
love
again.
for you to re-roll that.
And he fails with another 9. All right, so then the second one attacks. 15.
Oh, it hits.
Yeah, and that one a critical fail. Okay, so 1d4
Aw.
does 4 points of bludgeoning damage. It punched you.
Oh man.
It punched you right in the jimmy.
Oh, right the Jimmy.
Right in the
Oh.
jimmy. All right, so then the other guy is the big flaming skeletal guy is gonna move toward you. And he is going to, let's see if he has anything on him. He has, he's going to take his whip and whip it at you. Oh,
Hope there's no nay-nays around.
There's no nay-nays.
Whipping nay-nay.
He misses with a 5.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Yeah, he
he
does.
hits with an 18.
Ugh.
He does 3 points of slashing damage
Mm.
with his whip because it has a. Yeah. He's good. All right, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, so I am gonna as a bonus action healing spell, I'm gonna do healing.
Okay.
I get 5 back.
Awesome. That was so lovely.
And then I'm going to
Truly
stab.
inspiring.
And you're gonna
I'm
what?
going to attack the hand with my short sword.
Okay. Which one?
Ooh. The one on the
Okay.
either one.
Yep.
21.
It's
10 points piercing,
it's dead.
and then a dagger offhand. 9.
Misses. It saw what you did to its hand, buddy. And it was like, no! It was like, no! No! It gives you a little loser signal. Okay, so the last one is gonna attack you. It's going to do... Oh, that hits. 22.
Mm.
Ah! 3 points of slashing. This time it raked at you with its yucky fingernails that are probably haven't been groomed in decades.
Yuck!
It's
I'm
got
gonna be like,
stuff under, like there's
gross.
like stuff growing underneath there. It's disgusting.
So glad I got soap and perfume in my inventory.
Good call. Good call. All right, so then the other guy's gonna come forward with his he kind of stows his whip, and he's gonna come forward with his short sword. After I click on him.
I'm gonna
Oh, a 7. Does the 7 hit?
7 miss.
Oh,
No,
I guess he was upset that his little claw hand only did that much damage, and maybe he's frankly a little disgusted by the crud underneath the nails. All right, what are you gonna do?
Well, I now direct both of my attacks to the fiery crazy guy.
Yep, because he's right
So
there now.
Short sword's a 14.
14 hits.
7 points of damage.
Ooh, he's looking rough.
The dagger is a 18.
18 hits.
4 points of piercing.
Nice. He's looking really hurt, but he's still there. By the way, you take 3 points of fire damage.
Cause really?
Because you attacked him. He's like on fire. You got close enough to. You hit him and you took 3 points of fire damage. Okay, so it is. Whose turn is it now? You did you have another turn? You did that one already?
No, that's it for me.
Okay, so the claw is still gonna attack. 15.
Hit.
2 points of punching damage, bludgeoning. He's gonna like
Damn.
he's going for your ankle, like trying to get
Okay.
that ankle. And then
He got it.
and then the flaming skeletal guy no, misses completely. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna shit my pants as a free action,
Yeah,
and then I'm gonna attack the flaming guy with my short sword.
that poor mule's not gonna be very happy.
Nat 20.
Yes! Okay, for those of you
Hey.
who don't know, my rules are you automatically get the maximum amount of what the dice would be. So whatever your damage is that plus the...
And I maxed my roll.
Yeah, he had 2 points left.
16.
Sure,
piercing.
he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. He falls over, yay!
And then I'm gonna try to offhand coup de...
Coup de grace? Okay, do it.
Ooh, 23.
That hits!
And I do 1 point of piercing damage.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you got his
It's
pinky.
dead, Jim.
You got his pinky. No, he has one left. He had 2.
What are you gonna do with all this finger food?
I know,
And
right?
then that-
Okay, so he's
Which
really
finger's
angry.
left?
This one. No, he misses you completely.
All right, well, I'll attack him twice.
What are you gonna? How are you gonna attack him?
With short sword dagger.
I have to take your inspiration away. I forgot you had that.
Yeah. 8. And a 12.
The crawling claws, the 12 hit.
Thank goodness. 1 point of piercing damage.
That's exactly what it
Again.
needed. Hey, T-Girl, I'm so glad you're here. Aim for the tiny halfling ankle. Hey, Del Mori. Awesome. Well, everything is dead. And you know what? As soon as the last hand is dead, all of a sudden your heart feels a little lighter, and all of a sudden the sky begins to become unburdened with this fog and this darkness, and all of a sudden you feel a warmth in your back pocket.
Oh, did I just pee myself?
You might want to check.
I'm gonna look at the thing in my back pocket.
It's the map, and the little seal on the map, the little wax seal with the flame in it, is glowing a little bit, and you're shaking because this was more than you expected on this journey to visit your father. You thought you would just, simply go see what he needed.
This is a little supernatural.
This is weird. You've not experienced anything like this before. So
Yeah.
the seal is glowing a little bit, and all of a sudden at the doorway you see Silva and Bernard, Bottom Hill. Bernard seems 100% better. They're both running toward you. Silva is handing you back your dagger, and she is thanking you.
Right in the heart.
Shaking your hand, and Bernard.
I'm hugging them. I'm giving them hugs.
Oh, they're very grateful.
And I am overjoyed with their.
They are very happy. And immediately they go into the barn to check, and it looks like there are 7 horses and 2 mules left.
I want the nicest ass you have.
The nicest ass. You can pick whichever one you want. There's a brown one and a gray one. It's hard to, I mean, you don't know. Do an animal handling check to see if you can tell which one's better.
8.
I mean, the gray one's pretty. It has like spots on it, but the brown.
I want one with spots or a lot of like calico or character. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So they said, yeah, sure, you can absolutely. I need someone in the chat room to come up with a name for, this new, and not one of you guys, not a banana brother, but a chatter to come up with a name for this gray spotted mule that the Bottom Hills are going to give to Beaufort for all of his help with recouping their haunted or cursed farm somehow. Dog food. How about we just say dog foo? His name is Dog Foo.
I like dog food.
Dog food. All right, so they hand you the reins and a little bit of tackle for Dog Foo, the gray dappled donkey, and they wish you a happy journey. And
the beef stew. Can I get a Tupperware of the beef?
Oh, sure. You ask Silva, and she happily gives you some leftovers. In some sort of, maybe it's sealed pouch or something, I don't know. So yeah, it might last. She's never sealed anything up. Soup's never lasted very long in their household. It's always.
It'll be gone by 11sies.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me throw the map up here of the route that. Did I put the map on this page? Let me go back to the chat. Here's the route that Beaufort has taken, and this is where he started out, right there at the Grand Mora Delta Lake thing, which, yeah, they named.
The GDLT community.
They named, yeah. And he makes it all the way to the east gate of Ravenscroft with his trusty mule, Dog Foo.
Dog Foo.
All right, awesome. All right, so, Andy, say his name again.
Glotone.
Glotone. What is it?
Glotone.
Glotone. Okay. Much fancier than I was picturing.
Like glitter.
Does it have to be said with disdain?
I think it actually has to, yeah.
If you'd like.
Glotone. Let me set up the map for Glotone.
I don't think I could do that. I haven't met you yet.
That's true. Okay, so let's do this so we can get everybody going. Let's get back to the map. Glotone, you are traveling along the road and you see a glorious looking cow, and it has just the right amount of stench.
Holy cow?
It's not holy. You see just the right amount of stench on
Which which means that there's actual, wavy lines in the air as the stench comes off of it. It's
Absolutely.
perfect.
You are yellow until your
It's like
mini
a
gets
video
made.
game, man.
You are yellow until your mini comes in,
Excellent.
and then we can see
Audio
that.
problems.
There we go. And you are on just this open field, which we discovered, right between Ferncrest and or Embershire, or Ferncrest, and where you need to go to the Moondress Inn to continue up the river to catch that barge. So you're not quite to Ferncrest.
Take the barge.
Yeah, that's it. So as you are approaching, what do you do?
Well, you see, I'm getting a bit hungry, so I'm gonna sort of try to sneak up on it, and I'm gonna have my butcher's knife and my boning knife out because I figure it's not gonna pick up much of a fight. I don't need my shield out, so I'm just gonna try to creep up and then do the stabby stab.
Okay, all right. Do a stealth check.
All right. No, 2 dice.
That's right. Disadvantage.
That's a 2.
A 2. All right. Well, you feel pretty confident that it's just a cow. I mean.
Well, I'm making enough noises to distract the cow from coming up on it, right? That's
right.
That's how
it works, exactly. So good call. Good call. Okay, so let's roll for initiative here.
Hold on a second. Hold on. Time out. Did our paladin just roll at disadvantage on
He's
an
wearing.
attack roll?
He's literally wearing
on
plate
stealth.
armor. Literally, plate armor. He's wearing plates as armor.
No, I get this.
It was a disadvantage on a stealth roll.
No, I got the disadvantage on stealth roll. But didn't you roll disadvantage on an attack roll?
No.
Okay.
He hasn't caught up to it yet. Okay, so this is you. As you get closer, you think you're quiet as can be. This is how you normally maneuver around. And
Is this thing on?
And this, yes, it's on. We hear you. And its head comes right up, and you see its front hoof kind of dig into the ground ahead, almost like it's waving at you. It's like, this is what you see. Here's what it's doing. And it charges at you.
Well, that's not very nice. Just, die so I can eat you. Come on.
And it gets to right there. What do you do?
About how far am I?
You are about...
Oh, actually, it won't. Oh, yeah, it will matter.
You're about 20 feet.
Yeah, I'll move forward and try to attack it with my my butcher's knife and my boning knife.
Okay, and you're 25, and your movement is 25?
Fuck. Yeah, no, 30.
Okay, all right.
I'm
sorry. I apologize for the swear,
That's
but
fine,
No,
that's
no.
fine. No, that's
What
fine.
did you roll?
I rolled a 24 and a nat 20.
This is not gonna last long.
It's
Off
not.
with a bang.
That's okay.
So, are you using Logan's rule for crits?
My rule is that the dice is max. I don't know what Logan's rule is.
So I'm rolling 1 dice. I'm adding the same dice again, but a max dice.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my
Okay.
god. He's on it. I like this guy.
So that's a.
Is
Yep,
that Logan's
17.
rule too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 17.
Just
I
curious.
like to add numbers.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry. I'm very, very, very sorry. That was a 9 and a 8
It's
total.
Still 17. Oh.
It is, but I was separating the damage.
Oh, that's fine. No. I want the total. So 17. That's fine. 17 points of damage of meat cleaver damage to the scalp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
slashing.
I believe he had a paring knife.
So yes.
I hope you have
slashing
some jerk
and then
seasoning.
and then a boning knife slashing as well. Yeah.
Nice.
The boning knife, not a paring knife.
Okay,
but a
so
boning knife.
what were your...
Real long and thin.
That one hit you in the rear.
Yeah, you almost cleaved it in two, and that's surprising since it's a large creature and you are a small creature. So you just muscled up to this you must be hungry. You muscled up to this cow. Now, as you did, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
You shit your pants.
Yeah, that escalated quickly. Okay. Well, yeah, that was another nat 20. I need to stop using this dice.
Nice.
I'm gonna look bad in the chat.
No, you're fine. We trust you.
Plant.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Story progressor.
That's why I like dice rollers when I'm playing with new people.
It's fine. We trust you. It's no big deal. This was meant to be for fun anyway. So this cow almost topples over right on top of you. So excited were you at this fight, but you just narrowly missed not only it collapsing on top of you with its weird horns, but this funk that's coming off of it, this greenish thing emanating from its hindquarters.
What, you mean the tasty bit?
Sure. You narrowly miss that part, but just as you're doing that, out from behind the bush comes another one, and it is angry that you killed her mate.
All right, that's gonna be a bit too much to eat, but that's fine. Let's keep going.
The second course is served.
Yeah.
Oh, let me turn that one around.
All right, my push-pull drag is. I can't have leftovers. You understand?
Now, isn't there something in your family that you were taught about low and slow, or?
Oh yeah.
Something?
It's what I was doing just now. It's the best way of cook. You know,
right.
You get low to the ground,
Right.
and then you go real slow up to the thing, and then you hit it in the head with your thing.
Okay.
It's low and slow.
Low and slow. Gotcha. So as you're trying to figure out what to do with this dead cow, stinky cow, another one comes charging at you, and you're distracted by looking at what just happened, because this was one shot pretty much.
It was a bit too easy.
It
right?
was really easy. So this one's going to be a cake. You see it come around the corner, and it's, nostrils are flaring. It has that same funky stuff coming out the back end.
The cow is a cake?
Sure. Dessert. And it comes charging at you. And
Is this for real?
it hits you with a gore attack.
AC 16.
And it misses spectacularly. Apparently, it's really upset that its mate died. So it's standing there just huffing, and its nostrils are flaring, and it's really angry with you. What do? You're kind of crouched a little low now.
Right, so I'm gonna drop my bone and knife and grab my wok, because I've already got the meat that I need. I just need to scare this thing off, and then
sure,
I'm gonna hit it with my cleaver again.
Sure.
So 16.
That hits it.
Oh, that's good. So that's good damage. That's 12 slashing damage.
Okay. It looks really that really did a lot of damage, but it is still standing, and it's still very angry with you. So it tries to take another attack at you, but first go ahead.
Do I need to make some sort of save for the smell again?
A Constitution.
Oh boy.
Yes. I was just gonna have you
And
do that.
I'm guessing the corpse doesn't smell too good either. Is there another one for that?
The corpse you're okay with right now.
Okay. It's 18.
Okay, so you save on that too. The con check for that. You kind of are avoiding the back end. You're getting the front end of this cow right now. So now it's gonna take its turn. And no, it missed. I'm sorry, it's your turn. Now what are you gonna do?
What?
Right?
I'm gonna yell at it.
Yell at it.
Hey, you're about to die. You should just go away now. I've got my shield up now, and you didn't like the thing I just did. Go away. I just need one of you. It's fine. Go away.
Seems legit. That's what I always say.
It wouldn't do anything except attack, so it's gonna try to gore you.
No.
I'm thinking, well, should you roll a persuasion? No, it doesn't understand you.
I just said it.
Okay, so yeah, 20 hits.
Oh yeah.
Ow.
Okay, you take. Oh, you take 10 points.
Okay. We'll kill it next time.
Yeah.
10 points of gore damage, piercing.
Mhm.
Piercing.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yep.
So yeah, you're good. Your turn.
All right, I'm gonna attack it again.
Okay.
Only this time with less acting.
Yeah, that's
Holy shit, this is real!
yes.
I
I now
maxed his dice.
As it smashes into my thigh, I'm gonna swing down with a 25 to hit.
That hits.
Woo!
6 slashing damage.
It falls over. Roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh god. There we go. That's the karma. I got a 1.
Okay. All right.
Oh man, you got
got
So
inspiration?
now you feel. Oh yeah, you do have inspiration.
Oh, let's find out what happens.
Okay. So,
Do it.
so you feel.
Wait. I want him to use my inspiration.
No, you can't do that. You're not there. You save yours. You
She's
feel,
like, you're gonna need it.
yeah, you're gonna need it. You feel this this stench kind of enter into your lungs, and it makes you gag a little bit. Like, oh,
Oh,
you thought this was gonna be tasty, but maybe you were thinking the wrong thing here. You don't know.
it's like that time I accidentally made a gas out of moldy nuts and then put that in my lungs. It was not a good thing.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. In fact, the more that you sit there around both of these dead corpses, you realize that there's a lot of that stench coming up off these 2 cows laying in the field there.
Oh,
not
all
good.
right. Well, is it possible to maybe get like a shank or something?
Sure. Why don't you do an animal handling check and see how much you can get off one of them?
Oh, all right. Oh, that's pretty good. That's an 18.
Okay. So yeah, as a cook especially, you know the best places to cut each animal to get the best piece, and you're guessing that shank part is going to be the tastiest. So you cut
All right.
you cut a good slice off there that'll last you a couple days, you think, and
Okay,
stow it away.
I'm gonna go. It's a little stinky here.
Yeah, and you're feeling a little nauseous, like.
Yeah, let's get to Ravenswood. It'll be good there.
Ravenswood. Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're gonna come back to your story next week during the premiere. You're not gonna end up in Ravensburgshire,
That's right.
wherever you're.
West Ravensburg.
Yeah,
West
something.
Ravensburg.
Something.
Southeast
Something or
Los
other.
Angeles.
Blurgenscroft.
And actually, we're also going to hold off on our Lindor's boar story because
Because it's a boar?
No. Arlindor, you and your dwarf friends managed to get rid of that boar. Not a problem.
Gotcha.
You get into the cart. They offered you a ride on the cart. The boar only had 2 hit points left. I wasn't too worried about that. Between the 3 of you
I was using my magic stick.
and all your brains put together, you managed to do the last 2 points of damage to that boar. But the Greybeard brothers, Kip and Grim, offer you a ride on their cart. Unfortunately, you have to sit there with a barrel in your lap because they were transporting goods, remember, from that farm back to Zaman. And they told you that in Zaman, you would be able to get a ship to take you to Dyrebrook. So they take you to the docks, and they introduce you to the navigator, the assistant navigator, and she introduces herself to you, and her name is Danielle, but she says, "Please call me Danny." She is a lieutenant in the fleet that takes these ships from Zaman over to Direbrook, and she takes pity on you and says, just stick with me, and we will get you to Direbrook, where you could take the larger ship, of course, then over to Ravenscroft. And that's where we're going to have your next adventure with your new friend. Did you want to talk to her at all about what's happening?
Oh, we just met just recently, but she fastly became a good friend of mine. Lieutenant Danny was great. We loved her to death, and she helped me get over to where I need to go.
That's right. That's awesome. And she kind of explains, she's a dwarf, but she explains to you how everyone has she kind of teaches you some things. Everyone has a name, and places have names, and she asks you where you're from.
Oh, well, obviously, I'm definitely from where the Moganja tree grows.
So she says Moganja trees grow. What are Moganja trees?
Well, they are trees. They grow from the ground, and they grow really tall. They're big. I mean, they're big as a house.
Oh, really? How big? As big as this ship? She indicates the ship.
Oh, much bigger.
Oh, bigger than this ship? Really?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
And you use them what do you use them for? Do you live in them?
You can. We actually have a house. Me and Mama, we have a house. And she has her room, and I have mine.
That's excellent. And do you have any other friends back in where the Moganja trees grow?
Oh, I have lots of friends, lots of woodland friends. And I have, this little squirrel that, was always, coming around. So, we were friends there. But really, I stayed out in the woods because, being a druid is what they called it. I don't know what that meant, but I just did a lot of druid stuff, like curing wounds and casting that spell. I really, don't even know how to say it, but I say shillelagh because it sounds better,
Okay, and she asks if you've ever been on the ocean.
Oh, no, ma'am. No, I have not. No.
Can you swim?
I can swim because I've been to a lot of places of water. In my homeland, we had rivers, or that's what you guys call them. We just called them flowing aqua.
She seems a little impressed, actually. Flowing aqua sounds like a really fancy name for a river.
I don't know what that meant. Mama told me that. She said she heard it from Daddy one time. I think he was just trying to seduce her.
Okay. And she gets a little uncomfortable. She says strawberries. She manages to give you passage on the boat and says, normally this would cost you some money. Did your mama send you with anything to travel with?
All I have is shrimp. Here, let me show you. It's in my satchel.
And she says, no. I you've had that shrimp since you left where the Moganja trees grow. I don't need to see it. Thank you, though.
No, it's still good. Let me show you.
And she recoils, worried about the smell of the shrimp coming out of your bag.
Okay. It's okay, ma'am. Let me just show you. So I pulled out some gold shrimp.
Oh. And she explains to you that that's not called shrimp. It's actually called gold, and you might want to hide that on the ship. And she didn't realize that you had any shrimp, and so she maybe suggests that instead of you getting on board through sort of a coercive means.
What does coercive mean?
She says, instead of me trying to sneak you onto the ship, why don't you just buy a ticket?
I could do that. Apparently these shrimps are good everywhere, Mama says.
They certainly are good on this ship. The ticket is only 2 silver. Do you have any silver shrimp?
I got some silver shrimp. Yes, ma'am, I do.
Well, it would only cost you 2 silver shrimp to to get a room here on this ship. And I need a name of a dwarf ship, not a very large vessel, from the
Community.
chat.
Name me a dwarven ship, please, that's worthy of the Darrows riding it. Hashtag Darrows, Team Darrows.
I told no, the molten anchor. All right, Rylan wins. Wait, Rylan, didn't you name the last? Oh, that was Dell. Never mind. Okay. All right, Rylan wins that. No, Rylan, you named the dog foo. Quit naming stuff. I need someone else to name it. Leyrena's in the channel. I'm calling you out, Leyrena. Think of a name. Or Autumn. I see Autumn there too. Oh, you named dog foo. So no, you can't name another one. I'm calling Rylan out. All right. Well, we wait for that. Whoopsie. I almost closed down the app. That wouldn't be good. That would be bad. Okay. So then, you get on your ship. We're gonna start that next week. You're on the ship. So we got Tranquil and Ravenscroft. Andy heading toward Ravenscroft, and our Lindor on the ship. Anchoku, you and Shackleford Dunsby are in on your way to Piney Grove. You have got that one. No, you got rid of the last barrel of apples, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
Well, Shackleford Dunsby's got it in his cart.
Okay, so he's taking it with him.
That's right. And I'm following him.
And you're following him. Okay. So he takes you into to Piney Grove, and he shows you the amount of actual gold pieces that you should collect according to the paperwork that you showed him from Master Palm.
That inventory paper?
That inventory paper that he told you not to get rid of. He also does some dealings in Piney Grove with this Ember rum that he sells. And he gets on the road called Endymion's Passage, which is the very windy, tangled route through the Lunar Mist Forest. Let me put the map back up. I can't, we're on the wrong channel.
I'm the map.
I can't, we're on the wrong channel.
I'm the map.
And it's the very, very, very thick, the canopy's dark, and in the middle of the Lunar Mist Forest, you and Dunsby camp for the night, and you end up, we're gonna start your story at the south gate of Ravenscroft. So we've got two of you there at the gates, one on the east gate, one on the south gate. We've got a glutton. I'm gonna say that wrong every time.
It's okay.
You know what? I think you should.
It's
I think
Goblin.
you should say
You
it
don't
wrong.
have to speak Goblin.
You should say it wrong every time because he says Ravenscroft
That's
wrong
right.
every time.
That's true. Yeah.
You pronounce him differently every time.
It's like what was that Chevy Chase used to do with the
Oh, yes.
Oldsmobile Buick?
Yeah, the old Oldsmobile.
Buick. So we've got Glutton coming from the south, and he's just right there getting into Ferncrest with his heavy shank, and he's going to try to catch that barge going up to Ravenscroft. And then Anchoku, you were in the then Tranquil, you're the east gate, and Arlindor, you're on the ship. So the ship is where we're going to come back to first during the premiere, and the other three of you are going to meet without Darrows during the premiere show of D&D with the Banana Brothers. Thank you all so much for tonight. I tried to end it right
Sounds
at
like
10.
I got a homework assignment.
Yes, I will probably send you all homework assignments. But thank you all so much for Session Epsilon. Thank you to everybody who pulled it together last minute with the craziness of the scheduling and what's been going on. I really appreciate all of you for tuning in, and thanks to the folks who subscribed. Next week will be for everybody. You don't have to be a subscriber or a VIP, although we do love our subscribers and our VIPs.
Chief dance.
Hey, Chief. We're just about to end, so thank you so much again for joining us. Are we gonna try to raid somebody?
We Are Nerdsmith is probably starting shenanigans in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, see, I didn't see that on the schedule, so I wasn't sure. But yes, let me.
I think we should.
Yeah,
raid
they're playing.
something.
They are okay. Let's do that. Let's raid them, and then I will get. I don't know how to. Okay, here we go. I don't know how to do this. I'll raid this stuff.
Is there an ending to this? Should we have to roll credits? I want to read the credits.
Hang on. I said I want to get this up It's not Smith.
We have
Smith.
we have sponsors, of course.
Yes, thank
And
you
it
all.
is
Thank you all to our
Hacktober.
Hattober. That's true. It's Hattober. And we do have sponsors. Let me get to my thank you page, and that'll get you guys off the screen. We can just chat. Thanks, Andy, so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Awesome, and I really appreciate you pitching in and taking over. And you were amazing, absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Everybody was.
Very good.
Dude.
So, all right.
Andy, top notch, brothers, top notch.
Don't forget
Thank you,
to
sir.
give the Mimsy dab when we raid We Are Nerdsmith.
Hey, are we silent for everybody else?
Nope. We're still chatting. I can mute us now, but I'm gonna mute us in a second. But I wanna remind everyone to do the Mimsy dab into We Are Nerdsmith. So good night, everybody.
How do you?